Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Happiness from Within. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We are doing a live stream live, going all in to help you come out of the darkness and into the light. So, I first want to really thank you guys. Thank you for those of you that are watching or watching this recording later. This podcast does not happen without you guys. So I really honor your presence. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for watching this episode. Our vision here at Happiness from Within is that you're able to take one golden nugget and start applying it to your life today to help you come out of the darkness and into the light. And I really want to thank DTO. This episode, you want to pop in your head for a second? Really want to thank him for my heart. Thank you so much for just this amazing opportunity to live stream and just share this amazing platform. Technology is so amazing, especially with everything going on during this global epidemic. What a great way to share our messages. So if you guys need any live stream support, please reach out to him. He's absolutely incredible. Will bring a lot of value to your platform. So I have a really amazing guest today. I'm so deeply honored to have this amazing woman on my podcast, and I'm going to be introducing her here. Her name is Hemalayaa. And Hemalayaa is a beautiful beacon of light. Hemalayaa empowers with her unique blend of traditional and modern mentorship and coaching. She provides tools to break down barriers that hold us back from experiencing a powerful spiritual connection. Hemalayaa is truly passionate about leading women to their own truth, as well as inspiring a yogic lifestyle. Her work inspires and motivates thousands of women to live healthy and joyful lives. She facilitates her work globally and stars in numerous DVDs. She also hosts her own TV show, Bali Blast, bringing fitness to a whole new level of fun through yoga and dance. Hemalayaa has toured internationally with several yoga conscious festivals and conferences, including Wanderlust, Yoga Journal, LIB, Bhakti Fest, and many more. Hemalaya's magnetic energy leads all into a liberated state of being, balanced in true self-acceptance and passion for life. Hemalayaa has been featured in numerous publications such as the New York Times, Origin, Yoga Journal, LA Times, and Shape, as well as on a talk show, Ellen, Lisa Oz, and the Today Show. And I'm actually going to let her talk about her current show that she has right now. So I actually have her here on the line. Welcome, Hemalayaa.
Hello, and DTO in the house too. How did
Yes,
that happen?
DTO in the house. Pop in.
So great to be here. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a beautiful, busy Friday, and yeah, it's a gorgeous day.
Absolutely. Well, I really want to thank you for being a guest on Happiness from Within. It was such a pleasure to be on your show back in April. And
yeah, you were on our show. That's beautiful. Embody Freedom, our Embody Freedom series.
Absolutely. Before you actually introduce yourself, tell the audience, tell us about a little bit about your show that you have at 8
great.
a.m.
Thanks. Yeah, so the intention was, when we started quarantine here in Southern California, we got the inspiration to go live every day. And, we've been seeped in these practices and this lifestyle of being in embodiment and in yoga and in spiritual connection and deep connection within ourselves. I'm not a master, but definitely I'm in the practice. And the inspiration was, okay, how can we create connection online and co-creation with this time? Because there is spiraling going on. There's uncertainty, fears, anxieties, depression, all the things hitting us all at once. So the intention was to create a show which is called the Embody Freedom Series, in order for us to be in our upliftment right now. And embody actually is a acronym. We can talk about that later, but it is an acronym for us. The word embody is like to embody truly our freedom and our liberation. I feel like as human beings, that is what we truly want, right? We want to be liberated. So that's really how the show was born. And yeah, is yeah. Did I answer your question?
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. It's all about embodying, like everything's energy, everything is flow. And I know you talk about that in your show. You do like this cool little dance, you do like a meditation. You guys have to check out our show. It is absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's get started. Take us back. Where are you from, Himalaya?
I was born in Canada, Toronto, Canada. My parents are both, they immigrated from India. So a few years later, I was born in Canada. They got to, come to Canada, and that's where I'm from. I'm Indo-Canadian, as you would say. And I live now in Southern California in San Diego.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Are they from northern or southern India? I've been to India, so I'm a little
Northern.
northern. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, they're from
wonderful.
Punjab.
Wow, that's beautiful. So take us back. What was it like growing up during your childhood? Like, where did your spiritual journey begin?
Mm. Um, it began. So my parents we are sick, like Sikh. Oh my gosh, I'm having a moment here. Because here we would pronounce, like, the Western world pronounce it Sikh, but it's actually sick. Not
Mm.
like you're sick in bed, but you're sick. You're a sick dharma. And basically that's where it began. Our family is highly, highly, deeply spiritual people, and we even had something called a God room. Babaji the Kamra, we call it. Like it translates to, yeah, God, a God room, a place of prayer. Basically a whole room dedicated to, yeah, prayer and meditation and all of that.
That's beautiful.
So it started then. We went to Gurdwara, we went to temple, and honestly, we just were steeped in prayer and ritual, and yeah, I mean, prayer was really strong for us. I am so grateful for it because it certainly supported, I feel like, my journey of survival, of surviving here. Because there was lots of times where I felt like I want out. And thank Goddess and thank God that I had these prayers and mantras and sound vibrations in order to, yeah, come through.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, your journey with spirituality really started at a young age then because of your parents, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I was naturally inclined
Mm.
to question this reality, or this material world. And I feel like a lot of us are born yogis, from a past life, or we have these ancient um, knowings inside of us. So I started at a young age. I used to call it being witchy, right? Like I didn't know, but I was like, oh, I guess I'm just like it might when I grew up and like I moved out on my own at 18, 19, I was like, oh yeah, I'm witchy. That was my spirituality. Not that I was Wiccan or anything like that now that I know, but it was like just knowing that there was some other stuff happening that I was seeking.
That's beautiful. So take us back. So you said you moved out when you were 18, 19, and then where did your life take on from that moving forward?
Yeah, so I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast at that time. I had graduated high school, and I knew that I didn't know what I wanted to do or to be. And in an Indian family, you would normally, it doesn't matter, you just go to school. That's the thing you do. You go to school and you get your education, and then you become a profession. And there's a lot to that. There's stability in that and security. And Indians, I find, especially the last bunch of generations, it was really about security, security, security. Because as you know, in India, there's a lot of poverty. And so the fear is if you don't have it together, if you're not having a profession, then you're going to fall into poverty. And so I went to across the country from Toronto to Vancouver. And in Vancouver, I started really seeking myself. And I got into more arts, acting, drama, theater, things like that, and really exploring life in all sorts of ways. And yoga came to me as well at that time. And I mean, I'd practiced seeing my dad practice some asana yoga, but and we did some meditation growing up, but nothing like, the actual asana practice. So I started diving into that, and then yoga philosophy, and then found my yoga teacher and yoga my spiritual teacher and all sorts of things. So that's how it sort of started.
That's great. And when you were going through your journey, was it like just smooth sailing? Did you run into any obstacles or doubts or?
That's a great question. In that, of course, yeah, right. Like that, it was almost, it was all obstacles that brought me there. I feel like the moments that we hit the hardest, like we're down on our knees. That's when we may hear the call, our spiritual call, and follow it or not, and then keep on hitting those road bumps. And when we find our spiritual path, for me, anyways, it was like something to hang on to because, whoo, this is life. It's going to knock us down. Anxieties and depressions and all these things are going to occur. So give me something to hold on to, man. Yeah.
Oh, great. Can you take us back to a time when you maybe felt in the darkness and you came into the light? Just maybe somebody listening and maybe they feel like they're in the darkness or trying to find their spirituality, but just anything from your heart, just something that is coming through to you and through your
Yeah, that's a
body.
great question. And if you'll just hold for 1 second, because, we're on live right now, and I want to just change one thing. So hang on with me.
No
Um,
problem. That's what's fun about this.
I just changed it over to
Oh, for beautiful soul emerging? Oh, okay. We can talk about beautiful soul emerging. This is a great transition. Um, so I have an amazing program called Beautiful Soul Emerging, and this is actually the first time I'm opening up to the. Excuse me, I'm so nervous right now. This is the first time I'm opening up to the public. So I've actually taken women through this amazing program. So Beautiful Soul Emerging, what is all of this about? So Beautiful Soul Emerging is a beautiful program to help women heal from trauma. It's really about giving the woman the tools in 6 weeks to really show them how they can come out of the darkness and into the light. So really the purpose of Beautiful Soul Emerging is, if ask yourself if you fall into one of these questions. Have you ever been a victim of trauma, sexual abuse, or molestation? 2, do you feel stuck in your life and you feel like you're not moving forward? Number 3, do you feel that you want to be in a group setting with 7 women and you're ready to change your life? Then this program would be for you. You can actually go to the website, you can check the full details and get more information.
I'm back.
Awesome.
That's great. I just wanted to make sure that my Wi-Fi was, on.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so I love that, and I want to definitely hear more about your program actually, because it sounds amazing, so beautiful. So
Absolutely.
you had just asked me, what does it mean to come out of the darkness and into the light?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we're constantly doing that. And those of us that are called to spiritually inclined, and then some of us who are called to actually spiritually, like to teach, our spiritual teachers, perhaps. I don't say that that's what I am. I call myself more of a transformational facilitator. But those, but truly what we're doing is we're teaching spiritual connection. So why I'm saying that is because we're constantly doing that. We are constantly the opportunity. And so for me, what it means is that I'm shedding out, letting go of the things that I'm not in order to really see who I truly am. So there's the world is always coming at us. There's all these like these material things that are coming at us at all times. But if we stay centered in who we truly are, and that is what the yogis call your Atma, your true self, the formless, the undying, the undying, continuing on part of you. This body is going to die, right? We know that. It's going to compost. Depending on how you do it, I highly recommend you burn yourself. It's just better. But nonetheless, that's a very Indian thing to say. But nonetheless, it's like remembering who we are, and we're constantly doing that with all of the practices that we do. And does that answer your question?
Absolutely. And just to add to what you're saying, it's definitely something that we all go through every day. I mean, if we think about it, when we go to sleep, it's like we're in the dark, right? We're giving our bodies sleep. It's like the sun, we go down with the sun, so it's dark, and then we rise with the sun, we're coming into the light. I mean, just getting out of bed is a gift, but it gets it's hard for a lot of people, right? Yeah. I'm personally not a morning person. I'll be very vulnerable. Are you a morning or a night person?
I am a morning person. I love the morning, but I'm only a morning person because I go to bed really early, and I love it. I love it. I feel like, yeah, it just fills me up. But it's not always easy to get up in the morning. But I love what you're saying about our cells, like we go to sleep. And that is absolutely right. So in the morning is the best time for practices that would shift you cellularly, because your cells, a lot of them have gone to sleep, which then turns into disease and all sorts of things. Cells that are just not on board. So you have to tell those cells, wake up time, it's time. So mantra is a great practice for that. Yoga is a great practice for that. Embodiment practices, dancing, all of that is great practices for that, because they're contagious, right? Like your cells, the happy ones, are contagious, but so are the grumpy ones. So you want to make sure you have happier cells than grumpy cells.
Absolutely. So energy that's flowing through my body right now. So you have so much experience with dance and movement, and so our world right now, as we know, is going through a global economic shift right now. There's a lot of people suffering right now, and just anything you'd like to share with our audience that's watching right now. Maybe somebody is lying in bed right now and they're in a complete depression right now. Maybe they're in that darkness. Maybe they've been in bed for 3 days and they're like, I just don't want to leave my house. Or maybe they can't even leave their house where they're at. But just something with your beautiful gifts. I don't know, maybe you want to lead us through a 1-2 minute breathing, a little dance, just anything in your heart, but just something that'll get that person out of bed right now, or just to light that fire inside of them.
Yeah, for those of you who are feeling, that you're feeling maybe isolated and lonely, and your emotions are causing you, or maybe you're feeling heaviness or disconnected from your purpose. I totally get it. So this is the invite for you to get up, and even if it's just sitting up right now, if you're lying down, sit up. If you're sitting down, stand up. And I'm going to just take you through just a few minutes of a little upliftment exercise that you can do right now in order for you to feel shifted and connected to yourself. So that's really the invitation, is for you to connect in to your higher self. Because when we get bogged down with all of those emotions that we just talked about, the depression, the anxiety, the loneliness, all of that, then we certainly have a hopelessness. And so we want to shed some of that off, right? We want to shed it off. Literally take your hands down your arms and like wipe your body down. Whoo! Make a sound here. So we utilize sound, vibration, movement, intentions, breath. So take a deep breath in And wipe down, keep wiping down. Wipe down the armpits. This is the place where a lot of stuff hangs out. Yeah, wipe it down. Wipe down your belly, wipe down your heart. This is a place, wipe down the back of your heart. This is a place where we end up holding on to so much debris, so much old heartache and pain. So the invitation is for you to wipe down all the way down to your legs, your booty, the front and the back of your legs. I honestly did not think I was going to be on camera this far back, so I've got my pajama bottoms on. There you go. You get to see my tie-dye pajama bottoms. It's pretty dark in here. All right, anyways, shake out your hands now. So these are super simple exercises. This brings you into a connection with your nervous system that is at your true balanced state of being. Our nervous system and our adrenals and stuff, like, we are just burning a little higher than the average here in the Western world. Whew, so take deep breaths in. Deep breaths in, deep breaths in. Exhale out of the mouth. Stretch out your mouth now. Stretch out your mouth. You got to be willing to stretch out. Break out of the contractions that you are holding in your body, in your being, in your mind. And now let's roll the shoulders around and back. So these are all, seriously, simple movements, right? This is all what we did when we were 3 years old, 5 years old. And now bounce it out here. And now we're going to really do something that we did when we were 5 years old. Yes, you got your bouncy ball? Awesome, perfect, yes. So now open the mouth and let's go. Good. Let's take up space now. Walk in your space. Walk in your space. Move your arms around. Clear up your energetic field. The way that you clean up your energetic field is by this motion. Yes, so moving the arms around in a circle as you go around your space here. Breathe. Internal om. Woo, big glides here as you walk. So I want you to glide like you're figure skating here. So you bring up the back foot as you glide around your space and then stand. Shift the weight from side to side. Let the arms relax here. Breathe. Lift up your heart in all directions. This is an activation for you to be in your empowered self. Breathe. To truly find happiness within is remembering who you are in your essential nature. Like what we talked about earlier, is we are the Atma. We are this inside of this physical being is your true self, this undying, formless, never-ending, going on and on and on and on being. And that one is deeply connected to the divine and the truth. That is your true self. So when we come into remembering, that is remembering this being, this Atma, which is joy. It's a higher connectedness that we feel with all living things. And breathe here as you shift the weight from side to side. Palms are face up now. A little internal om again. Whoo, a little washing machine now at the center of your body. A little washing machine. You can still sway the body from side to side. Ooh, I highly recommend that you keep the party going and put on a song now and let go. It's so important that we let go and let ourselves really experience our full wildness, come into wildness, you know? That's really what we truly desire, is being in that wildness. Because it frees us, it liberates us, and that's what we truly want, right? We want liberation and freedom. So taking in the deep breaths in, that's what I feel like is that happiness within that. Jeanette, I bet, like, you've got, why did you call this? I'm so curious. There we go. I got you back.
Oh, thank you. I called this happiness from within because that's such a good question. So, make a long story short, I had an incurable disease in my knee for 15 years. And I'm so grateful to have gone through that because the doctors told me for 15 years that I wouldn't walk. And after 3 knee surgeries, I was like, watch me. I just decided, I was like, enough is enough. And I was in the shower one day and I was just like, happiness from within. And it's like that concept of, coming out of the darkness and into the light. Happiness means different things to different people. And I've made it my mission that I want to help people come out of the darkness into the light and help them to find that happiness from within. So that's actually a really good transition to the next question I have for you.
Okay.
So there's this beautiful concept. One of my mentors, his name is Daisaku Ikeda. I'm reading one of his books right now, The Wisdom for Creating Happiness and Peace. And I want to read this small excerpt for you. It's talking about absolute happiness and relative happiness.
Mm.
And it's really, really deep. I actually have it right here, and I'm going to read it to you guys.
Okay, beautiful.
And then we can expand on this. So, absolute happiness means that being alive and here itself is a joy. It also implies a state where one is free of finances, worries, and adequate good health, and where there is peace and harmony in one's family and one's business prospers, and where all that one sees and hears brings one a wonderful sense of pleasure and joy. When we achieve a state of life, when we achieve such a state of life, this world, this strife-ridden Saha world, will itself become a pure land. And then you have what's called relative happiness. And relative happiness, means that your everyday wishes are fulfilled one by one. For instance, you have 1 million yen, a wonderful spouse, fine children, a nice house or clothes, and so on. So such happiness is not of great consequence, yet everyone is convinced that this is what being happy is all about. So just to summarize, so relative happiness is about all the material items. It's about having, all the good clothes, the big house. All those things are beautiful. But then you have absolute happiness, which again, it's about being alive, and here itself is a joy. It implies a state of where one is free of financial worries and adequate good health, and where there is a peace and harmony in one's family and business, and most importantly, within yourself. But I just wanted to ask you, like, your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I mean, relative happiness sounds like it's temporary, right? It's dependent on, me having this. I've got this material thing, and I've got this material thing, and now I'm chasing happiness. Once I have enough in the bank account, then I'll be happy. Then I'll relax into life. But absolute happiness is what I was actually talking about, is you knowing at your essential nature, your true self is joy. Your true self is joy. Your Atma, your absolute, undying, never change, like never dying, never it's this a formless, unlimitless being that you are. At that being, that true self's being, you are joy. You are bliss. You are joy and bliss. So that's it. Like there's no. It's interesting, the absolute happiness, because that is absolute joy. I don't know about the word happiness. I don't relate to it as much because it reminds me of the temporary, right? But I like that you're giving it like this relative, or your teacher's saying the relative versus the absolute. And to me, yeah, happiness from within is knowing that true self. We are from birthright. Our birthright into this existence is to remember that we are that. That we're not chasing that. There's nothing that we need to like get or do or be in order to then finally become happy or joyful. We are that. So that's my understanding and my experience is when I'm chasing things, once I have this and once I have that house and da 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 da, and once I have the partner and all that stuff, and we all know We all know. We never get there. There's no, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no thing that we get to that I'm like, oh, I've just arrived. I'm there now. Yes. I got the house and now I'm in joy from this day forward. We know that that's never going to happen. Because all the things that you've already planted, I got this incense. I love this incense. And I really wanted it. And so if I attached my joy to it, then it would be like, okay, and then now what? Now what's the next thing that I want? But when we know, no matter what, that we are joy, then there's no confusion of like needing this in order to, or that temporary chasing. We can have goals. Goals are great, but don't attach them to your happiness. That's how I see it.
Absolutely. And just to expand on what you're saying, also joy is whatever that means to somebody, having an abundance of relationships, an abundance of money. Maybe being joy is just being with yourself, being with your beautiful children. Maybe you find joy wearing really cool glasses. Maybe you find joy, getting breast implants. I mean, I'm being just really open and vulnerable here. Maybe having joy is going to the park. Having joy is, if it is living in a beautiful house, that's awesome, right? Living in your little hut, being in your little studio. The most important thing, like you said, it's about first being present with yourself, right? Being content with who you are first, because we have to fill our cup first before we can fill somebody else's cup.
And you just nailed it, the word content. I actually see that as contentment, like we're satisfied. We make a goal, we get something, we don't get something, we're content regardless. We are satisfied. It's nothing wrong with like having goals to have breast implants or whatever you want. Do whatever you choose.
Yeah.
But don't associate that with that once I get that, then I will be happy or joyful. You already are. You already have the opportunity right now to be joyful, even in the wanting of that or the not wanting of that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to expand on this deeper. This is such a great topic because right now in our world, society tells us that we're not good enough. We're in this system of, and again, not saying anything wrong with going to college. Yes, go to college, but from the time we're children, you're like, you got to memorize this, and because you're not worthy if you don't memorize. We have to memorize dates, and we're put into this system because really that's what it is a system.
Yeah.
And just the message I would love for us to expand on is just that you're enough right where you're at. You're a beautiful beacon of light right where you're at. And everybody has a beautiful mission. And I'd like to actually, there's this really incredible short story. So one of my other mentors that I really like to listen to is Robin Sharma. And he talked about, this is a true story. There's this woman, her name is, oh, wow, I had a brain fart for a second, but her first name is 𝘽𝙤𝙧. And 𝘽𝙤𝙧, she was a cleaning lady. She washed people's clothes. And the beautiful aspect of her story is this, is that every single day, the coins that she would use to wash people's laundry, she would go to the bank every single day to deposit money into her bank account. And these small incremental things that we would think are silly, they're actually not silly. It's like simple to do, but simple not to do. And her story actually started to impact society. And let me tell you why. This is really amazing. So months turned into years and years turned into more years. And by the time she was 87 years old, the teller told her, they're like, 𝘽𝙤𝙧, how are you doing today? And they're like, do you know how much you have in your bank account? She's like, no, tell me. She had $250,000 in her bank account from small incremental deposits. And so what ended up happening is there was this billionaire So he said, they asked, what do you want to do with the money? There was two things she wanted to do with the money. The
Mm-hmm.
first is she wanted to give it to her nieces and nephews because she really loves them, right? And the rest, she wanted to use it as a scholarship to inspire African children that still have a dream. And Ted Harrison, that's his name. Ted Harrison was like, wow, if a cleaning lady can give all her money away, then I can give away $1 billion. And that's exactly what happened. And there
Mm.
was a reporter that followed O'Shea, and he said, what is your dream? Like, you just gave all your money away. And she said, well, my dream is to see one of those students graduate and cross the stage, but I don't know if that's going to happen with my advanced age. And so what ended up happening was 1 month before she passed away, she saw that student graduate. And
That's beautiful.
then the reporter followed the student, and the student said, what do you have to say about your beneficiary? And they said, heaven couldn't gotten a better angel.
Hmm.
So the message is just that, and I would love for you to expand on that. It's just like small incremental changes when we're building something. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's to be a better janitor, a better receptionist, a better entrepreneur, whatever it is. It's not about having a title. It's like small incremental steps that you take to better yourself as a person, building that muscle of going to the gym, your mindset. It's really about the small changes. But yeah, could you expand on that?
Yeah, that's beautiful. It reminds me of, well, when we're building anything, right? We're building our, just like you said, our muscle, our true self. And O'Shea reminds me that, like, when we really haven't had the, like, once I get there, she was just building for the sake of, she didn't have like a once I get there or have $1 million, I'm gonna be happy, and then I'll finally do something, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, she just kept putting in these drips of goodness. And her heart, it sounds like she was so much for the good of all, that once she had this amount of money, she really had this, like, I'm for the good of all. I want to support those who cannot or do not have the opportunity right now. I want to support them having that. So I feel like we all have the opportunity to do that. We all have the opportunity to build wealth or this or that in order to be in the good of all. But I feel like what's happened in our culture is very self centered, except for, like, there's a lot of generosity too, and I'm seeing it more and more. But there's this self, like, I need to take care of myself, and I can't donate, and I can't contribute, and I can't, until I get something, until I have whatever. This woman was poor her whole life and didn't have much, and she kept putting something away in order, I don't know, it just sounds like she's dripping into the good of all. And even when she had it, she didn't hoard it in order to, like, yes, I got, it's like, pew, let me support the world, let me support. So I just feel like that's who we are in our nature too, and our true self, our true soul, our true Atma nature is like, we don't need all of that, any of that. It's really for the benefit of everyone. So imagine the world like that. Imagine a world where we all were in an alignment, in commitment to the good of all. Just, like, imagine that for a moment. Imagine you also weren't afraid of losing what you have right now if you gave a little bit more. And it doesn't have to be in the form of money. Those of you who don't have money and that's not what you're, like, what's happening right now in your life, but it's giving from a place of not worrying about it, whether you're going to have enough for yourself, knowing that you do have enough for yourself. And you started saying, we were talking about that too, is like that piece around, like, what if we, believe that we'll never be good enough, or we won't have enough, or, any of that. But the truth is, those thoughts are always going to come in because of society, like you said, and because of our own internal criticizing and judgment and persecution. Like we're constantly doing that to ourselves because we were trained to do that. It's not our natural true way of being. And it's okay when it happens. Don't beat yourself up then when you catch yourself. Then it's like, okay, serve yourself in gentleness and love and kindness. And from there, I don't know, there's just so much possibility and opportunity for us to be in deeper connection with ourselves and each other.
Absolutely. Just to add another thing to that is that it's unfortunate, we live in also society where we want to stick everything in the microwave. It's like let's put in the food. We want to pop a pill and feel better
Oh,
in
yes.
2
Instant
hours.
gratification.
Yeah, exactly. And just the message, and I'd love for you to expand on this, is just doing the best where we're at. Being is about really being our true self to the best capacity that we can. But the question that I have for you is this, is that maybe somebody right now listening to this is feeling stuck. Somebody that's watching this, is that what is a step that they could take to, I guess, not feel guilty? That's what the question is. Yeah, because there's a lot of guilt and things from the past that come up, for all of
Yeah,
us.
I mean, I think that's a way that we keep ourselves down, we keep ourselves stuck, is by shaming ourselves, guilting ourselves, telling ourselves that we're never gonna be enough and that we're a failure regardless. And I've just started doing that because I have that. I've had that my whole life, is whatever I do is not gonna be good enough, right? Like, and the things that I would do, I would still think I was a failure in some way. And I've accomplished a bunch of amazing stuff, created amazing projects, and been in great leadership in this life so far. Yes, I have, I see even a bigger vision, just like I bet a lot of you are visionaries and you see these big things. I'm choosing to celebrate the wins versus beat myself up. Or I used to think even like celebrating was a way to jinx it, right? Like a way that I would be jinxing it. So I'm not buying into that anymore because it's not true. Being in celebration grows more and more energy like that and brings in opportunities. Absolutely. Like I've seen it, I feel it, and I feel better. So for those of you who are struggling, what can you give yourself a celebration of right now in this moment? Like, what can you celebrate? What have you won? What have you been winning? And honestly, I celebrate that I went and watered my garden this morning. I celebrate that I went and sat at my altar for a few minutes to breathe with myself. I celebrate that I received a hug from my beloved and like really received it. Or that I got a hug, like even that, like just that. Or I hugged myself, I took a bath, I sat at my desk, I moved forward on something, I had a conversation. I am celebrating. I'm inviting you to celebrate those wins, because that in itself, that practice, it seems so simple. It is, and it's not. But it is, in that it will absolutely right away create waves of that same kind of energy coming to you.
Wow, I love that. That's so beautiful. Wow,
Thank
wow,
you.
wow. So I have one last question for you.
Okay.
I just first want to say that I really appreciate this. Has been such an amazing interview so far. It's been so great. So the question is, what does happiness from within mean to you, Himalaya?
Mm. It's so interesting. It's like I keep coming back to the same answer. It's so interesting. So, happiness from within means that I am not reliant on anything external feeding me with happiness. Like when I give up on that, when I let go of that, I am so content and joyful and in play and in lightness. And yeah, so happiness within means I am content. I am in connection with my highest self, with the divine, with the divines. Like there's um, goddesses and incredible beings here that allies, archangels, angels, those divine beings that are here for us to be in connection with. And when I'm in that, that's happiness from within. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you for sharing that. It was so beautiful. That energy was just wow. That really touched my heart. That was so beautiful.
Ah.
So share with the audience, tell us about like your services. What is it that, you're currently I know you told us about your show. Tell us about your show again. But yeah, what is it that you do so that way if somebody resonates with your message, they can follow
Yeah,
you?
thank you. I empower women. I mentor visionary women or spiritual teachers, yoga teachers, on how to magnetize their clients with ease and flow. It's a different way of creating. It's not the structure, like a really hard masculine way. It's not softy lofty so much, but it's a balance of you being in your power, your confidence, your security with yourself, and then your messaging can come through really, really strongly. So, and especially right now, I'm really serving women to shift. Those of you who are like, Reiki teachers and yoga teachers, shifting to online with authenticity, inspiration, and with like this whole new pathway to be abundant and prosperous and serve simultaneously. Yeah, that's what I do. And so I have for you, women who are called to be in sisterhood and to also, be in a place together. I have an Embody Sisterhood group on Facebook, Embody Sisterhood group with Hemalayaa. To search it, make sure you answer the questions to join, because it's a free group, but it's a really private, sweet, incredible group. And I teach a lot there. I lead and share a lot of videos and tools for you to be in your greatest leadership. So one of my signature programs is called Embody Leadership Mastermind, and it's a 7-month program. It's coming up, and whoo, there's some magical beings coming in together right now at this time, and that's what I've been calling in. I've been like, okay, let's come together. Who wants to like really up level right now in this time and space? So if you want to know more about that, you can check it out here on the screen. Thanks for putting that up. Himalaya.com/embody leadership. Check it out. If it's calling to you, book an appointment, book a call with me, and make it soon because we're starting really soon.
Wow, that's beautiful. And then just tell us one more time about your series that you have going on right now, your live
Yeah,
series.
so we have a Monday to Friday live stream series called Embody Leadership. Oh, sorry, oh my God, it's called Embody Freedom, and it is truly a fiercely fun, interactive show. You can ask questions, you can come on, and I usually have a featured. We have a featured artist, so a poet, a musician, a singer-songwriter, a spoken word artist, or a visual artist, and we have here's the show right here, and then we have also a featured facilitator, and this is for us to lead you on a journey of your awakening, your joy from within, and get you in touch with your true self. So thank you for sharing that, Jeanette. Like, leaders like yourself are really, really inspiring me, because it is time for us to all rise, and there's no more procrastination. The time is now to pivot and expand into your leadership and into your freedom.
Absolutely. I just want to take a minute really quick just to talk about my program that I'm launching on May 25th.
Yes.
It's called Beautiful Soul Emerging. And this is a 6-week transformational healing. I don't like to use the word boot camp, but it's just such a beautiful 6-week transformational. I'm really looking for, there's actually only 5 spots left. And I'm looking for women, if this message resonates with you, to ask yourself this question. Have you been through any sort of trauma, molestation, rape, and you're ready to be a part of a group of women to really rise up and to give you the tools that you can actually take with you for the rest of your life so you can start healing? A lot of my work is very deep. It is not for everyone. And you can see all the details actually at beautifulsoulemerging.com. It's really about helping you to get unstuck from where you're at. It's about stopping the excuses of like, I'm a victim, I'm not going to go there, I'm just going to stay where I'm at. Like, this program is really about being a part of a powerful group of 7 women that is going to, again, give you the tools that you can take with you for the rest of your life. It's about self-empowerment, like what really is love, what is trauma? Like, how do we heal from trauma? And there's $2,000 worth of additional bonuses that I'm giving through this program. So you do have to apply for the program. Again, I don't take everybody. You do have to apply, answer some questions, and then we'll actually hop on a call for about 15, 20 minutes and see if it's actually a good fit. Again, if this is something that resonates with you, I only have 5 spots. Again, only 5 spots available. And if any of my messages have ever resonated with you guys, if this program doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. But you can get also free content on my podcast, Happiness from Within, and also at, Instagram at Happiness from Within now. But yeah, Beautiful Soul Emerging. I'm really looking for women really ready to change their life like now. And if you've ever been resonated by any of my podcast episodes or my post on Instagram, again, free content. And I just encourage you, go to beautifulooulemerging.com and just see if it's something that resonates with you. If it is for you, great. If it isn't for you, great. But yeah, that's about my program. So again, I just really want to take a moment to give appreciation to 3 people. So first is my audience, is you guys. This podcast does not happen without you guys. So I really want to thank you wherever you are in the world for taking the time to listen to this beautiful podcast, Happiness from Within. 2, I really want to thank DTO, if you want to pop your head in for a second. Thank you. Yes, DTO. And also, of course, Himalayaa. I really want to thank you guys so much from my heart. Like, this podcast wouldn't have happened without you guys. Thank you for sharing your beautiful voice. If you guys need live stream, DTO is your man. Please, please, please hit him up. He's a production manager. He does music. He's amazing, amazing. I mean, amazing. Himalayaa, thank you so much for your beautiful presence, for your time and making this episode happen. I'm almost gonna cry because I'm just like so happy to be here in your presence. But really, truly, truly, thank you. Like, thank you so much. It's just to be able to do this first live stream, Happiness from Within. It's such a beautiful gift to share this with you guys. And yeah, so please make sure to check them out if any of their services resonate with you guys. This is about really uniting. This is about uniting and being one. Whatever's happening right now with this whole global epidemic, I promise you guys that you're not going to be the same after. You're not the same person that you went coming into the storm. You're going to be a different person coming out of the storm. But I really feel that everything's moving in a positive direction. And, whatever your calling is, whatever you feel in your heart, like, I just challenge you, like, things don't have to be perfect. As you can see here, I have a couch blocking the way. It's just about taking imperfect action. That's something that one of my amazing coaches has taught me. And it's not about being perfect. Just, if you want to start that YouTube channel, start that YouTube channel. If you want to start that Instagram account, start that Instagram account. And also, just one last thing I want to say is I also right now am offering one of my other gifts is I'm a light worker and I'm also a healer. And I offer one-on-one and also packages for healing sessions. If you're in need for a healing sessions, my healing sessions right now are 50% off. 50% off. You can go to Happiness from Within now to get more details. But if that's something that resonates with you, I would love to jump on a call with you and we can focus on one area that you're interested for healing. Or if you're not sure what area of healing, that's fine too. But yeah, just reach out to me. I would love to connect with you either way. If you have a question about something, I would love to connect. So again, thank you guys so much from my heart to yours. And I look forward to the next episode with you guys. Again, thank you, DTO. Thank you, Himalayaa. And I just wish you a wonderful, fabulous day. And don't forget to smile. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Happiness from Within. Bye for now.